This one's a stinker.
Jono,
To the belly.
So that was my new intro. Thank you Sound Warper for putting that together. I'm stoked with it. That's going to be the start of a lot of my videos moving forward. All of my videos moving forward, in fact. And there's quite a few clips in there from Redbull Hardline, and that is exactly where I'm stood now. I'm at the bottom of the Hardline course. The riders are about 20 minutes away. They're all going to be turning up in a shuttle bus. We'll be setting bikes up here, hanging out in here. That's the last jump of the course up there. Some sort of creepy little sofa gig here. It's all going on this year at Redbull Hardline. There's spectators coming. Unfortunately, there weren't any spectators last year, so it's going to be a hectic week. There's massive new jumps that have gone in, some of which haven't been ridden yet, which is exciting. Some of the riders are going to have to tick these off for the first time ever. There's new riders that are coming that haven't raced before. There's previous champions, Bernard Kerr, G. Atherton, that are all coming to race. It's going to be really sick. I'm not riding, unfortunately. My ankle's still not in a position to deal with the cases and the impacts that these jumps put through you. I'm pretty gutted. It's also going to be nice to just sort of document and see what's going on without those nerves that I'd normally have here. I'll be working with Redbull on some of the daily shows, but the plan is to bring a few of these YouTube videos each day and show you some behind the scenes and see how the testing of these jumps goes. This is probably the craziest week of the year for me. Even when I'm riding, it's mad. When I'm not riding, it's going to be different, but I think I'm going to be able to show a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see and talk to a lot of the guys and hear really how they're feeling. So without further ado, we'll wait for the riders to turn up, we'll get stuck in, and it's going to be a sensational week. The crew's turning up. Look at the hangout. MC David drops the mic. Very cool. Classic Frenchies. Oink. Chief vloggers around. What's up?
It's your boy Jono Jones.
What's happening?
Elliot Jackson's there. We're bloody here at Hardline.
2 hours late.
Excited.
He's late.
15 hours late. Hey, we're 15 minutes late.
So the champ has arrived. How's it feel?
Well, guys, we're happy to be back. We're excited. I'm not going to lie, we're pretty excited.
You brought the sun with you.
We've brought it in. It's going to be a good week.
And you brought that thing. Daryl Brown's just turned up.
All right, how's it going?
Daryl's never raced it before, but we're coming up to look at the very last jumps of the track. I'm so out of breath. This is probably the coolest jump I've ever jumped. It's at the end of about a 4-minute racetrack, and the lip's pretty flat, and you can pull up as hard as you physically can and not overshoot it, and you kind of do have to pull up really hard. I'm hoping there'll be a bit of a session on these jumps later on after we walk the track, but what do you think of that?
Long, isn't it? How long is it?
I don't know. It is big.
65?
Yeah, you've done big jumps like this, haven't you?
Yeah, bigger, but
Bigger?
it didn't say hard on it.
Jim Monroe?
No.
What are you looking at up here?
You're looking at that very slippery takeoff.
Which one? The wooden one out the woods?
The wooden one.
We'll go up there now.
It's a bit slimy.
Do you know how long this is?
I think it's 80.
It's 80?
75?
Okay, oh, it's big. And of course there's just huge boulders in and around the landing. Daryl marks the spot.
It's not much of a lip, is it? It's just like
Not much.
jump.
Yeah, it's flat and then a long way.
Wouldn't be flipping that, would you?
Big. So the end of the last wood section has this runway. It's so blind, you just can't see the landing until you're already really in the air. Like I'm here and I still can't see the landing.
Very blind, isn't it?
And then it appears. It's actually a bit of a left turn, isn't it, Daryl?
Left hooker.
You turn left to touch off it from memory.
It's got this lovely grippy stuff on it. It's actually not grippy.
Looking down the valley, yeah, that is somewhat mossy. Thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's sort of, I might just get the van and sort of go back home.
The rain's coming, Flo.
Yeah, man. We're waiting for it.
Not good. We're waiting to do track walk now for the rain to stop. And the Altius boys are getting me hooked up. Not going to roll this now. Thank you.
vlogger.
I just wanted to film everything. No, I'm not coming out with you.
Get in the landy and fuck off.
We're ready for track walk?
Come on.
There'll be an angle in there somewhere. No, I'm not coming out with you.
Why not?
I've got to meet you halfway. So we're in the uplift vehicle now, heading up. We're only going to go to halfway today. The riders are going to the very top, but the film crew that I'm with means that we're going to wait for the riders at that halfway point. Just heading through the event village. It is a massive operation. Right, so Elliot's gone to the top of the track with the riders. The film crew I'm working with, we're going to wait for them here. But I'm stood on the brand new on-off feature. It's what could be described as a lily pad. The takeoff's over there. It's probably 45 foot onto where I'm stood now. It's a slight step up. The speed's not going to be an issue. There's loads of speed down there. This is where the big hip used to be. But this top section here is probably 6 or 7 bike lengths long. It's literally not enough to stop, not enough to make a decision whether you want to go off this other side. And you can see down there, that is a monster step down. This is all the brand new section. After this, there's some new enormous sort of fest-sized jumps. This lily pad, and I'm going to call it the lily pad, it might stick, has only been hit once, honestly a few hours ago, by Chaos Seagrave. He came up here to basically make sure it was doable, and he greased it. He did do it well, so fair play to him. That's brave, brave, brave. But the other riders have got to come and conquer this. I'm pretty stoked not to be having to do this, actually. It's really scary. There is no room for error. I'm going to show you it from the side, just to show you how wild it is. So this is a section that kind of gets overlooked. When you're riding here, you really think about all the features and the big jumps and forget about all this little stuff. But on any other course, this would actually be really serious. There's massive rocks, stumps everywhere, and you can easily get distracted by the view. Oh, I'm so out of breath. I mean, even these sort of gravestones you got to get between. You can see in prior years, they've took a bash in from bikes, derailleurs, rotors, and then the big on-off in the distance. Hardline is savage.
Double duties today.
I am. What do you reckon?
Actually, looks good. Very slippery.
Techie bit. Oh, it is slick.
Yeah, the top's real slick.
Wait till you see the lily pad, boys.
Actually, see the slab up there. It looks like shiny, greasy.
In the woods.
Looks like it's got detergent on it.
I didn't get to see the top section today, but I will go up there and show you guys. Davey's saying it's really slick. Huh?
It is very slippery. Slippery as detergent.
I'm lucky, boys. I'm sitting out, aren't I?
We got the Scorpion King here.
Here with Brayton, a very famous man in these parts.
Yeah.
Hit nearly all the trees on this track. I didn't get to see what's up there, but what are we looking at? Is it similar to last year?
Not a lot, mate. It's Redbull Hardline this year after the track's bloody missing.
Oh.
So,
Brayton wants a longer track.
please. Tell you
Thinks
what,
he's strong, thinks
Union
he's
man
brave.
Bernard Kerr voted against me. Got outnumbered.
I said I wanted it from the start, so you can pipe down.
No, he didn't.
Guys, calm down.
Yeah, calm down, Bernard.
Dan Atherton, come over here. Talk to my camera. Was it your idea to build the lily pad? Be honest.
There was a lot of call from riders for a lily pad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a sick feature that we've never got into, a bit more like BMX, a bit more techy.
Yeah, it looks scary. It's not a big flat bit on the top, is it? It's like pretty short distance to make a call.
Yeah, it's like about 40 on, 30 on, 35 on the deck, and then 40 off.
50 and 60, I'd say. 70 and 80. It's big, basically. So I'm stood on the old bit of course, the Waterfall's Edge, which has been replaced by what can only be described as a monster. They've measured this at 94 foot, give or take, and it's massive. I think you're going to be coming in with so much speed off that lily pad. It's going to take a lot of speed out of the course as well. Like, I think it's really slowed you down this section before, probably 30 seconds from where the hip was down to the woods, and now it's just straight as an arrow, 80 mile an hour, humongous jumps. Maybe not 80 mile an hour, but no, it's a cool addition. It's going to reduce the times, make racing even more competitive. The lily pad was insane. I think this is the one I'm most excited about watching people ride now. It is massive. That is so big. Daryl, it's your first time here. You probably hit jumps this big though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've hit jumps bigger than this, but
That's pretty scary.
The lily pad.
Before you get to that, it's pretty scary. Before you get to that, it's pretty scary. And then before you get to that, it's also scary.
And it's linking it all together.
And then you've got more the other side.
And it's more scary.
Yeah.
Phil, what do you reckon of this? This is big.
This one scares the shit out of me, to be honest.
Yeah?
I reckon the on-off looks alright, and then this just looks ridiculous.
It's really big.
What's the point? Imagine that they tried to get rid of that rock, realised how big it was, and then gave up. How big it is.
Gonna need a bigger boat. So it's the on-off lily pad, a 90-foot double, and another equally sized monster behind me. Up next is the tech bit. It gets into the sort of rock garden. I say the tech bit, I said that was back up there, but it's like a steep rock garden, maybe the steep sort of gnarly section of the track where bike handling is really important and you're not worrying about the jumps. But seconds after that, you're onto the wood and you're going off of that road gap. Something that is a feature that everyone doesn't struggle with, but for me in the past has been by far the most scary. That road gap is, I have nightmares about it leading up to Hardline. I'm not having those nightmares now because I'm not riding, but I feel for the guys that are. I'm going to go and see how they feel stood on the edge of that thing. You really have to see it in real life to see how big it is, but hopefully I can show you how big it is now. Josh, hello.
Alright, mate.
How's track walk been going? Similar to last year, a lot of changes, but I mean, you didn't struggle last year. I think you were one of the standout newcomers. It was your first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, first one. I don't know if that's better or worse now doing it a second time.
Yeah?
Probably more scary now. Yeah, because you kind of know what it's going to be like.
Well, I think you got it, mate. Road gap's coming up. How did you feel about the road gap last year?
Well, last year I think it was probably the scariest one. Just, it was terrifying. Honestly, the first time I did it, I had to sit down because I had such a rush of adrenaline to my head.
I get shaky legs after it, even when I'm on the bike.
I was so dizzy. But now, after hitting those, I think it will seem small.
After those new big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
We'll
That
see.
is fair. Now we'll
I'm
see.
hoping,
But
I'm hoping.
I was saying you have to see that road gap in real life to believe it, don't you? But
Oh, even those jumps, I saw pictures and I was like, oh, they're big.
yeah,
But man, when you see them in real life,
fair play. I'm rooting for you, Josh.
cheers, mate.
Done loads of work in these turns. They're all brand new, but they look pretty soft. I think they'll get a bit of a rut in them, won't they? Get your knee down.
Yeah, man.
And here comes the road gap, but not before this rockery. Lali,
Oi!
what do you reckon?
I'm fucking scared, man. After those big jumps, I'm like,
Have jelly legs through here.
yeah.
It doesn't change really, does it? But it's slippery.
Yeah. The weather will be the
Decider.
decider.
Fair play. This is the bit that scared me so much in previous years. It scares me even stood on it now knowing I'm not riding. It's the road gap. Josh, you good?
Not a good time.
No, not a good time. I'm sorry, mate. You wouldn't have fallen off the edge. Oh, this thing. Why did they build it? You can literally see the event village in the distance. You know that when you land this, you're on the home straight pretty much, but honestly, look off the end of this. That's
Quite
big.
small.
That's small?
No.
Oh man. It doesn't get any easier to look at. It doesn't get easier to look at. It's so big. What's happening, G?
Did you hear us?
It's actually harder going around it, huh?
Yeah.
Look at all these rocks.
No, it's always the same.
So this is a pretty steep landing. You actually land so hard, I've hit my feet on the floor sometimes, and then you go around probably the world's fastest right-hander. It's really well built, they do loads of work to it every year. You go around it so fast it does get cut up. Savage section. Dave, are you gonna ride? Are you gonna ride? I think you have to stand here to make it funny.
It's up there.
And Brooke, come here. Try and make you look better.
I don't know if you're going to make me look better with it.
How are you, mate? You gonna do a bit of riding now?
You're going to get some riding in, bro.
Good
What's
lad.
this for the vlog?
This is for the vlog. Will you be tuning in?
Fucking vlog. Yeah, I'll be tuning in. First timer.
First time and last. First and last. Oh.
Hello, welcome to Jono's tunnel.
What are you doing now? Going riding?
Back in the living room.
Get the armchair.
Yeah, got my feet up, enjoying the weather.
What jumps are you actually going to do now?
Is this a serious question? Yeah. While I'm stuck in this tunnel. Hello. What happens if you go cross-eyed?
That.
That'll do now. See ya.
It's got to be harder than water. Yeah, Matt, first hits. You! Yeah, crew! Yo! Woohoo! Yeah, Matt! So that's a wrap. Redbull Hardline track walk day has been brilliant. The proper riding is going to start tomorrow. A few of the guys went up and hit the last jumps, but with mixed weather, most of the riders are deciding to just sit out and sort of do a lot of the, or all of the track tomorrow. So it's going to be an action-packed day. I'll be back behind the lens tomorrow, hopefully catching all of the action. And I look forward to seeing you there. To the belly.